Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Russian with Michael. Today is the third part, as you can see, there at the chest. And we are going to be going over the dative case, instrumental case, verbs, months, members of the family, colors, and how to formulate everyone's favorite grammatical structure, Который. And why everyone loves it is because it's much easier than participles. So that's for the end. So we will go back to the very beginning and talk about the dative case first. So datlny падеж, answering the questions to whom or to what. So what is the dative case? It is the indirect object. So in English, we have I threw the ball to him, right? So to him is the indirect object in this case, meaning it is the dative. So it's not to he, it's to him, right? In Russian, so here we have ему, which is on in the dative. So я бросил мяч ему. So I threw the ball to him. Yeah, I mean, if it was, to you, it would be тебе, to her, ей, and so on and so forth. Now, so those are the pronouns out of the way. Let's do some nouns to practice the noun and adjective endings. So I don't know why I tried to switch keyboards there, because we're just going to keep it using Russian for right now. So for feminine, remove the a or ya and add yeah. So let's say it was девушка. So девушка, feminine, obviously, means girl. Девушка goes to девушке in dative. So if it was like я иду к, sure. Я иду к девушке. So I'm going towards, подхожу к девушке. So we'll talk about prefixes here in a minute, but this means towards. It's not. So the idu that I just wrote is, and again, we'll talk about verbs of motion as well later on, but pod is kind of like towards, not actually getting to the place where you're going, whereas idu implies that I'm going to said thing. So you could, I guess, say я иду к девушке, but this is just more specific, I guess. Я иду домой, like I'm going home, but that implies that you will be actually at home, if that makes sense. You could say, I guess, я иду к девушке, as in like, oh, I'm going to the home of the girl. But yeah, I would just, if you're talking about, it's just that this prefix pod means like you're getting close without actually arriving at the said destination. So yeah, a little note. That I just thought I would use it to make it clearer, I guess. Anyway, moving on. We are talking about dative case, of course. So that was feminine. So let's say masculine. So я подхожу к мальчику. So I am going towards the boy. So мальчик, so here мальчик is boy, and it goes to мальчику in the dative. You add u. Same thing with neuter, like I'm going towards the window. So instead of к мальчику, let's do к окну. I'm going towards the window, and yeah, plural. So let's say я бросил мяч to my friends. So yeah, there we go. So I threw the ball to my friends. So мои goes to мои, and then друзья goes to друзьям in the dative. And then, so let's add here, я подхожу к младшему. So I'm going towards the young boy. And then here we could say Я подхожу к высокой девушке. I'm going towards the tall girl. Yeah, so. And then some verbs that directly use the dative case. To like is нравится or понравится. I can spell понравится. So this is to like. So if you want to say I like, it's мне нравится. So that's I like something singular, and then мне нравится is plural. So it's the same thing in Spanish, and I assume other languages as well. Me gusta, so me gusta la película, me gustan las películas, and vice versa. So yeah, as you can see here, it's the same concept. So me gusta la película or me gustan las películas, right? So мне нравится film, мне нравится film, okay? And the noun that comes after it is in the nominative. So like you could say, I like the scary movie, and then страшный. And then you do this in the past as well. So if you want to ask, like, did you like it, как? Or how did you like it? Or you could say, like, did you like it? Тебе понравилось? Did you like it? So понравится, of course, is perfective. So this is saying, did you like it? And, in the moment, now it's over. You're not necessarily liking it anymore. So it's kind of, it implies a completed action, right? And then you can be like, yeah, да, мне очень понравился фильм. And then you could say like, обычно мне нравятся фильмы с... No, let's do, who's a famous actor? Well, I'm thinking of a famous Russian actor, but I don't know. I'm blanking on so many names. Let's do Tom Holland. Sure. So, and then this is instrumental, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. But yeah. So, and then here, you change both names. So that's for foreign names, masculine names. In Russian, you change this. But for female, you don't. So this here is correct. So so usually I like movies with Sergey. If it's a Russian name, then obviously you change both names. Sergey and I don't know, Ivan, Sergey Ivanov. But if it's foreign, I forget the rule for that. I think so. What I'm thinking here, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, which I'm sure you will be doing. Anyway, so you change both names. So it'd be Tom Holland. But for female, if it ends in not in like a female name would in Russian, like if it was with Linoy will be a good female last name. So if it's a Russian female name and it ends, because they usually end in A, so it makes it easier to decline it as but if it's a female name that doesn't end in A, so a foreign female name that doesn't end in A, then you don't do anything. You just leave it. So anyway, that's what I think the rule is. I could be wrong, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that as well. Now that it's in the moment. Okay, so to need also uses dative. So мне нужен Karandash. So I need a pencil. So the N here is masculine. Нужна, нужны, no. So these all go with the noun that comes after it, kind of like here when we talked about nравится. Нужна, it's a good word to add. Нужна машина, need the car, sure. Нужны pizza, well not. Нужно масло, so need the butter or oil. So, and then, I'm using меня, but you could use, any noun or pronoun that you wanted. So this just changes depending on, the nouns that come after. So, and then you could say, and then when talking about the future, here you could say буду нравиться, it follows the same. But here's a bit different. I mean, you would be like, я уверен, что понравишься. So, like, I'm certain you will like it, But here, these are verbs, technically. They are, I don't even know what you call them. Are they short? What is actually the proper word to call, like, this type of action? No. It's verb? No. It's a short... Are they participles? I'm not sure. But, like, words such as glassen, dolgen, these. What do you call these? And is that different from these? Because I know, like, here they go with the subject. So, yeah, dolgen, yaseba. But then here, they take on. So, I don't know. Strange. But yeah, so anyway, here's a bit different. So, again, if you want to say I did need it, it would be не был. So again, this goes with the noun here. It's kind of like having things. So remember when we talked about у меня была. So I had a машина. So I had a car, or был, etc., etc. It's it describes the object, but it's not really the object. It describes the word that comes after it. Because this is kind of like the pencil is needed by me, because they all come from verbs, but you just don't use the verb usually. So I guess they're short form verbs. Maybe that's a good way to describe them, but that's what participles kind of are, because there are past short form participles, which I don't think are the same thing, although they kind of look like they are. Anyway, so that's what I was, and we'll talk about participles later on. But anyway, so yeah, and here, I will need the pencil, or if it's plural, budut. So budut, нужны, karandashi. Anywho's, so that's dative case. Now, instrumental is the means of action. So what does that mean? You use this case when you're talking about things you did actions with. So like I write, so я пишу карандашом. So I'm writing with a pencil. Okay, so I'm writing with a pencil. I mean, it's not complicated. So here is the instrumental masculine singular ending. And then if it was like я кушаю. Oh, good. So I'm eating with a fork. And then я кушаю с ложкой. I'm eating with a spoon. Я кушаю с ножом. Ножем. Right? Moving. So here we see the examples with the instrumental. Now, if it was plural, so карандашами, so вилками. So I'm writing with pencils, or I'm eating with forks. So, and then let's say I'm writing with the red pencil, карандашом. So I'm writing with the red pencil. So I like instrumental case because красным карандашом. Красным would be prepositional. That would be the prepositional adjectival ending. So it's krasnym karandashim. I was going to say, I like instrumental because, these look fairly similar, especially when you talk about the feminine. So, я кушаю с серебряной вилкой. So I'm eating with the silver fork. Now, we covered all the cases. Congrats. So remember saying I'm, you and I is mój z tobой. So me with you. Or, we with, so this is Misha and I idiom. But you say it's we. Yeah, okay, you understand. Even though it's we and this person, it's still I and this person. So those are all the cases. Congrats. You have completed your Russian case learning journey. It only took 1,000 years. Well, it felt like 1,000 years, but we got it. Okay, so here are some verbs. Now, this is a vomit of verbs that I did Google, most common verbs used. And these are them. I don't know how many there are here, but we'll just go through their meaning. So, говорить, сказать, speak, смочь, to be able, знать, узнать, to know, становиться, стать, to become, есть, съесть, to eat, кушать. This is to eat as well. Хотеть, захотеть is to want, видеть, увидеть, to see. Стоять, постоять is to stand. Okay, and then думать is to think. Спрашивать, спросить, ask. Жить, пожить is to live. Смотреть, посмотреть. To watch, сидеть, съесть. Sit, понимать, понять. Understand, делать, сделать. Do, make. Казаться, показаться is show. Давать, дать, give. Оставаться, остаться. To stay. Оставлять, оставить. To leave. Работать, поработать. To work. Любить, полюбить is love. Отвечать, ответить. Answer, значит. To mean. Ждать, подождать. To wait. Лежать, лечь. To lie. Not like tell a lie, but to lie down. Писать, написать, to write. Решать, решить, to decide. Считать, посчитать, to consider or to count. Помнить, запомнить, to remember. Получить, получить is to get or receive. Замечать, заметить is to take note of. Покупать, купить is to buy. Заниматься, позаниматься is to be doing something, but more so as like a profession. So like я занимаюсь train sports. It's a very generalized word. Like you could say я занимаюсь. It's doing something, but as more so of like a profession. I guess is kind of the way to describe it. Возвращаться, вернуться, to return. Слышать, услышать, to hear, слушать, послушать, listen. Бояться, забояться is to be afraid of something. Читать, прочитать, read. Брать, взять, take. Начинать, начать, to start. The ся here. So if you're talking about I'm starting or I'm finishing here, it's the same. It applies this to finish as well. Заканчивать, to finish. So this is like if you want to say I or somebody starts or finishes, then you don't use the ся. But if you're saying, or you don't make it reflexive, but if you're saying something has started or is starting, then you put it into reflexive. Okay, чувствовать, почувствовать, feel, успевать, успеть is to be successful. Продолжить is to continue. Забывать, забыть is to forget. Появляться, появиться, this is to appear. Просить, попросить. So here is also to ask. So, okay. Here, these verbs are a bit different. So, просить, попросить. This is to make a request. And then спрашивать, спросить is to ask a question. Питаться, попытаться. This is to attempt. And then пробовать, попробовать This is to try something. So я попробовал кумыс, пока я был в Kazakhstan. So I tried кумыс when I was in Kazakhstan. Держать is to hold. Назвать is to name. Okay, звонить, позвонить is to call. Вызвать is to order a service. So я вызываю такси is I'm ordering a taxi. But я звоню маме. So, good. So I'm glad we covered this. So to call someone, you put it in dative. So я звоню кому-то, I'm calling someone. So yeah, the object is in dative. And then просить is to throw. I would also put it in кидать. This is also to throw. I mean, you could also say like заливать, but whatever. Not really. I don't think it's used very commonly. Поднимать, поднять. This is to lift. Послать. This is to send. Вставать, встать, to get up. Просыпаться, проснуться. This is to wake up, and this is to get up. I think they're pretty much the same, and I might have switched the meaning of them, but they're pretty much the same thing. Like it's get up, wake up. I think this actually is get up because it's, the here, and then so this is to like break. So I'm clued into here, like this looks like it's more so of breaking sleep, whereas this is to like lift your body up, is kind of when I'm looking at the verbs closer. So yeah, играть, сыграть, to play, следовать, последовать, to follow, спать, поспать, sleep, молчать, замолчать, to be silent, снимать, снять, take off. It also means to rent an apartment or house, or it could also be to take a photo. That's quite a few meanings. Одеваться, одеться. This is to put on. Останавливаться, остановиться. This is to stop. And then here we have переставать and перестать. So the second one is more so of quitting something, like я перестал курить. So like I gave up smoking. Whereas the first one is kind of more a general type verb. Искать, найти. Well, I would not say that's the perfective of that. Like it would. So I would say that this is more so искать, and then the найти is so искать is to look for, and then найти is to find. But if you look for it, for a period of time and don't find it, then that's still, it's still looking for something. So they're two different verbs. I don't know why I put that with. Maybe on the website I found these verbs on, it listed them together, but I would say that they're two different. I mean, I see where they're coming from, because, okay, if you looking for it is the process, but finding it is one time action to that process. But if you don't find it, then I think поискать is the better pair for that. But I could be wrong. Anyway, so верить, поверить, to believe, открывать, открыть, to open, закрывать, закрыть, close, стирать, постирать, to wash clothes, прыгать, прыгнуть, to jump. Okay, now months. Hello. Let's do this. Let's try to be fancy with the, with my fingers sliding across the mouse pad, but didn't work. Okay. So months, месяц, month, месяц, months. Январь is January, February, March, April, April, May, июнь, June, июль, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm so glad that these are they're more Latinized. Is that a word? They're derived from the Latin names, so it's easier to learn them. Whereas, like, I'm learning Polish right now, and they're completely unfamiliar sounding to me. I'm glad that they were at least Latinized. So, Januar, February, December. So these are all zima. So zima is winter. Mart, April, Mai. What else? Yeah, Mart, April, Mai is Vesna. So spring. Iul, August is summer. Leta. And then September, October, November is Oisen. So that's fall. I think, wait, what's fall in Spanish? I can't remember. But I thought it was similar to that. No, hold on, I'm curious now. What is autumn in Spanish? Otoño. Oh, okay, never mind. It's completely different. Because I was thinking, because I took Spanish all my life, but I just started getting back into it relatively recently. I took an intermediate Spanish 2 semesters ago, and the girl sitting next to me was named Autumn, and the professor would always say Otoño when referring to her. So I was always like, but then I guess where my confusion came from is I would always think she was like Oisen. So I thought it was similar, but it's not. I guess they both start with O. So that's the similarity. Anyway, so here we have members of the family. So chlen is member, and then family. Actually, I need to do body parts. That would be a nice addition to the next part here. But anyway, so here is the basic list that you need to know. And then here, if we scroll to the right a bit, here I went a little crazy. I looked up like all the different family members that you could have in Russian. So like these here, like gender specific, depending on who you are, you call them a different thing. Like I don't know any of these, to be honest. Like wife's father, yes, the wife's mother, Joshua. Like I don't care. Like it's whatever. But here, niece, nephew, plemianica. And then I only know godparent because of the movie Godfather. So Krestny Отец. So you see Krest here. This is like cross. So you can see how it's God related. And so here anyway, so here we have Mats, Mama, so Mats formal, and then Отец formal for father. Papa is like dad. Dядя is uncle. Tata aunt. A cool phrase you can use in Russian keyboard. Я работаю на дядю. Okay, so what does this mean? So I work on the uncle. That is literally what it says, but it means like I'm working for the man, so kind of an interesting phrase. And then brat is brother, sister. So bratya are brothers, siostry are sisters. There are oh no, I missed cousin. But those are irregular plurals. Dvayorodny brat is cousin, male cousin, and dvayorodnaya sestra is female cousin. You can also say cuisine. Like when in Kazakhstan, there is a chain of Georgian restaurants called Gruzin cuisine. The Georgian, the cousin. which is, I thought it was kind of funny. And here we have babushka, grandmother, and then dedushka, grandfather. You can also use these as like talking about old people, like, oh, tam jest babushka. And then Ded Maros. So Ded is it is short for Dedushka. So Ded Maros is Father Frost, literally. Well, literally because it directly translates to that, but also, you know, it's their version of Santa Claus. And then Vnuk is grandson, and Vnuchka is granddaughter. So cool. And then here we have colors. So Sveta, not to be confused with Svetok, which is a flower. So okay, so first we have Krasny, which is red. Bieli, which is white. Actually, I'll add like some fun ones. So Ali, how do you spell Ali? Is like crimson? No. Ali is like scarlet, actually. Scarlet. Malinowy comes from Malina. So this is raspberry colored, so crimson. Bieli is white. Chorny is black. Zelyony, green. Żółty is yellow. Sini is dark blue. Голубой is light blue. Серый, gray. Коричневый is brown. Dark brown is бурый. Фиолетовый is purple, violet. Оранжевый is orange. Розовый is pink. Oh, I guess I'll put that in there. Well, no, because I'll make it its own. Actually, I will say, I just remembered. So back in time, people, how do I say this without being too offensive? So back in the day, people used розовый to mean like lesbian and голубой to mean gay, without saying each term. But I think nowadays they're disrespectful, so I wouldn't use them. But just know, like, that's what people like. Oh, that's a голубой парень or whatever. That's a gay guy, or розовая девушка, розовая девчонка, розовая девка. You know, those are the. Anyway, moving on. I just wouldn't use it generally. I like you can just say, you know, lesbianka, gay, standard stuff. Okay, so Который. So this is the light. This is the free version, where the participles would be the premium version. So like, that's a bad analogy, but that's what we're gonna go with. So Который is so much easier than using participles, because with participles there's so many different choices to which participle to use. But with Который, it's just Который, right? You worry about the verb after, so which is just a regular conjugation. So you do have to know your grammar rules, whereas with participles you don't really have to, because you can just match it and from the first clause to the second clause. And I'll get into what that means here in a few minutes. So yeah, they're like adjectives, revert the noun, match grammatical structure. So here we have some primary examples. First one, я люблю девушку, которая читает книгу. So I love the girl who is reading the book. Now, девушку is девушка in the accusative, right? Yes. I was like, I made it seem like there was a room for argument. There's not. That's what it is. Okay, so девушку, and then которая leads the next clause as its subject. So what does that mean? It means you cannot say которую читает книгу. No. You have to revert this back to its nominative. So this девушку is singular, feminine, and then you basically have to put который into that form. So который goes to которая in this instance. Now here we have которой. Why? Because it's followed by nравится. And we all know nравится is followed by dative. So you have to put который in the feminine singular dative. Okay? So я люблю девушку, которой нравится читать книги. Now, here we have у которой. So this construction, у plus genitive plus есть, is to have. So I love the girl who has the book. So you can't say у которой because, well, first of all, that's masculine and we want it to be feminine, but also it's just wrong in terms of grammatics as well, because you need to say u. If it were masculine, it would be u которого, but it's u которой since it's feminine. And then, same thing goes with like, u. So я люблю девушек, у которых есть книги. So I love the girls who have the book. Or if it was one book, so у которых есть книга. But for participles, they just use the they just match whatever grammatical rule from the last clause to it. So like я люблю девушку, читаю where's the shit on this stupid keyboard? I need to be better at, here we go. читаю книгу. So this is the accusative form of читающая. So читающая is feminine singular as a present active participle. So participles, there's 4 different types. Well, I guess 5 if you count the short form. But there's 4 different ones, and so that's just one of them. But so that's why который is easier, because you do который and then you worry about the verb, and the verb is pretty straightforward. Mainly because of the just inherently how past tense verbs are conjugated in Russian. But yeah, that's kind of a sneak peek at participles. But that'll be it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video, and I hope you will join me for some more fun. Can you call it fun with this language later? I don't know when the next lesson will be, but it will be sometime. So I hope you will join me for whenever it will be. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you. Bye.